a resolution authorizing the submission of an application by the City of Darlington to the Division of Community Grant Programs in the South Carolina Department of Commerce. This is a grant for $750,000 for downtown streetscape improvements. The total project cost estimate is $825,000. The City of Darlington shall provide the local match, and we have previously had resolutions and discussions with county, and county council has approved to provide us that 10% match money, that $75,000. We've discussed this in the past few meetings. Any cost savings will be shared with the grants administration on a prorated basis, and that the city manager is authorized to execute documents in conjunction with the application and submit all necessary documents in accordance with normal policy. And we do need to approve this so that we may apply for this funding. The project area, and this is in your packets here, is this core commercial area of downtown. That's where all the project work would happen, and this was approved by Commerce to be that area. And the project behind that is kind of a general scope of work, and in talking with Department of Commerce, working on this. This would include paving a significant portion of the trail. If you look on the map, you'll see the blue line, which goes behind the library and connects to downtown, as well as landscaping, trees, security cameras, benches, ashtrays, garbage cans, all that sort of thing in these areas. It would also include paving the Ward Street parking lot. So this is the parking lot behind the old Wells Fargo building and Keontae's and Wilson Senior Care, redoing that whole corner, purchasing that last little corner, putting sidewalks and landscaping and that sort of thing, and repaving and redoing the landscaping and things at the South Main Street downtown parking area next to News and Press. And of course adding security cameras to all these areas. We'd also be adding amenities and furniture in the public walkway, which is in the McClellan building, which connects the parking area behind the building to the square and to the front, where people can access the businesses. This would also include decorations on the signal boxes, which would feature our history, and awnings for the buildings on the back of the buildings that would face the new courthouse. This is why the county is working with us. They're putting in so much investment, $17 million on their new courthouse, and they'd like to look at something a little nicer than the backs of those buildings as they currently are. And their match money would go towards painting the backs of those buildings, putting awnings, and making that a more attractive place, considering how many people would be going to that facility visiting. This would also include paving the Carnegie Library parking lot and creating on Hewitt Street, that section of Hewitt Street where the Carolina Bank Plaza building and there's the Merle Norman shop. There is a street that we own, and we gave the rest of the street to the county.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, we gave the whole street.
We gave the whole street to the county, and they don't want. They want to give it back to us.
Look to give it back to us.
The section of that street that is one way, that goes beside the buildings.
Yeah.
We would turn that, concrete that, and turn it into an outdoor seating, dining kind of area with lighting and seating and landscaping and things like that.
Out of curiosity, what is this corner right here? This thing runs into a corner, what is that?
I'm sorry, I need to look and see what you're saying. That's how the zoning map goes, and I think it's somewhat connected to how those parcels are created along the old railroad bed, and that's why it's at that weird kind of angle.
So just so everybody's clear, this grant only allowed for a certain distance out from the square. It also did not allow for us to use any of the money to touch other people's property as far as the buildings, paint the fronts of the buildings and so forth, except for the match part. And the match part would be coming from the county, so our grants with them was that we would use that to paint the back of the buildings for them. If there was any additional funds left over, then we could use that to do whatever, to paint, put an awning on someone's building. So that the citizens know that we didn't all of a sudden get $825,000 and just do whatever we wanted to do with it. There were limitations of what you can and can't do with it, and how far out you can go. Congratulations to the county for providing the $75,000 match and paving the, as we already agreed for them, paving Carnegie Library. They're looking at giving us back that part of the portion by the old Bilks building and the rural homes there in the corner there, so we can use that for whatever. They're not looking to make that a driveway through the electric enclosure.
And this would also include some wayfinding, and decorative street signage, and decorative stop signs, all based on what the beautification board has in their design plan for downtown. You can see an example of that stop sign there at Cashel and
Lisa, what, is it required, why do we have to have a resolution?
It's required.
I mean, what,
It is required for us to apply, we have to have this resolution approved. It says you are authorizing the city manager to do all those documents, and for us as staff to apply. We can't just apply by ourselves.
I just want to thank Councilwoman Thomas and Ms. Godbold, Councilwoman Godbold, for their efforts on the county side, so. that'll
there
get
will
us
be
started.
some more, right,
There's
yeah,
some more.
this is just the beginning.
Sent out a lot of letters, asked for a lot of letters to be sent out, and did a lot of work also. We greatly appreciate that assistance.
I'd like the motion that we approve the CDBG resolution for downtown streetscape project.
Ms. Reed? Mr. Milling?
Yes.
Okay, aye. Okay, motion approved. Thank you.
All right. Oh.
All right, city administrative building, Mrs. Rock.
Yes, city manager asked me to bring this to you. You have received this in your packet previously, back in June. The appraised value of the,
Yeah, well, guys. Ms. Rock.
so we're discussing the Gargan House, which is at the corner of Liberty and Pearl Street, which used to be used as the City of Darlington Administration Building. We got an appraisal for the property. It is appraised at $220,000. It has about 4,800 square feet. It's perfectly usable turnkey. It could be leased, it could be sold, it could be used by us. The city purchased the house for $177,000 and then dumped probably at least that much into it to get it into a usable space because just City Hall was a little too crowded. And in 2015, Hurricane Matthew.
When did we purchase it?
We purchased in May now. Hurricane Matthew in 2015, the water damaged the building, the chimney on top of the roof fell into the attic space. Because of the construction of the building, it didn't go any further than that. We did, with over several years, get the roof replaced, the chimney fixed, with help from SHPO. So the roof is fine, it still does need to be painted, it hasn't been painted since 1999, and it needs new HVAC units.
Yeah, so what's the question right now, was what?
So the
what do you
question
want to
right
do?
now is for y'all to decide what you want to do with it.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, I remember back in the spring when this item came up, and y'all, the council asked for an appraisal. And as I started, I found the appraisal, and I just don't want it to sit on a shelf. So what the administration is looking for is some direction. Do you wish for us to pursue selling it? Do you wish to keep it? We're looking for guidance.
Any recommendation?
Well, my suggestion is that if you lease it to someone for any amount of money, $1,000, $500, or $2,000 a month, then we're still gonna be responsible for maintaining it. You've already dumped a lot of money in it as an older home, and we don't want it torn down for sure. We don't want it to be left and fall down. It needs to be put in somebody's good hands. Who it would be, I don't know, but for either residential or office residential, is it own office residential?
It's zone general commercial.
So, put in somebody's hands to be used for something good out of it. So, me personally, I would propose to sell it.
In the past, discussions have ranged from using it as a visitor center, maintaining some city offices there, using it as a visitor center so that we could apply to SCDOT to have a historic Darlington sign on Interstate 95. There's of course a cost to that, initial investment of about $50,000 to get one of the signs. DOT will pay for the upkeep of the sign and all the adjoining signs that lead you to a specific destination. So that was one idea of what to use the property for. The only inquiries about the property, serious inquiries over the past 5 years has been people that wanted to tear it down. And just because it's the location in the commercial district across from Piggly Wiggly and Rose's is very popular. So that's the only uses that anybody seriously has proposed. I've seen houses like this be used as doctor's offices and some sort of professional offices before, but we've not had such interest.
I'm not crazy about selling the building. I understand we don't want the overhead, and we don't want to continue to invest money in it if it's not doing anything for us. But I would really prefer that we could figure out how to lease and incorporate up to the lease, if there's a way to do that.
I don't wanna maintain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my interest is right now just to take this as information. Hopefully we'll get a work session with our new city manager coming soon, and at that point maybe discuss it as a group, do a little brainstorming. But I mean, right at this moment, I just want to say thank you for the information.
Do you like this, Ms. Reed?
That's fine, yeah. I'm tired now.
Okay. We'll just decide to table that at this moment then. All right, thank you, Lisa. Board and commission appointments.
We have received Dr. Andrew Cullen's application to be on the Williamson Park Committee. It's included in your packet. Presenting it to you or no? He has served the Williamson Park Committee for years until his business took him away. His foundation has funded many projects at the park.
I would like the motion to approve Andy Cohen's Williamson Park Board.
Second. Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Ms. Reed? Ms. Backus? Mr. Milling?
Yes.
Okay, aye. Rescue Plan Act of 2021, resolution. Mr. Payne?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, as you approved the resolution earlier for the CDBG grant, we also have to pass a resolution in order to receive coronavirus funding. It's called the American Rescue Plan. Darlington City, it's not competitive. We're going to get this money. Over 2 years, we will receive $2,957,193.12. But in order to do that, we have to pass this resolution designating an authorized representative and a contact person for purposes of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. I, as the city manager, would be the designated as the municipality's authorized representative, and Mrs. Pridgeon, as the in her capacity as the clerk and treasurer, will be designated as the contact person.
Mr. Payne, can you give us that amount again, please?
The dollar amount?
Yes, please.
It's over 2 years. It is $2,957,193.12. And in your packet is information on what it means.
All right, I'd like a motion to approve the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, resolution dash John Payne, city manager.
Second.
Mrs. Baggett? Mrs. Reed? Mr. Spears? Mr. Milling?
Yes.
Okay. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Payne.
We also need to designate Mrs. Pridgeon as the contact person.
And Mrs. President is designated as the contact person.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now, I had asked to amend the agenda for the DDRA. We were out there the other night, I'm not sure who all was out, I saw a few of you. Again, we had one in, they had one. The city sponsored, July was the first one. Got rained out at the beginning, it didn't turn out to be really good. August, got rained out at the end, kind of died off. It was still a good turnout. That was July, August. Yeah, this first one was September. This one was September. Time's flying by. This one was September, and I don't know if anybody got an exact count, but I would guesstimate 1,000 people there. It was a herd of people. I have been brought up a number of times from people just walking around through town, come up to me on commenting on how well they enjoyed it. Again, as I said, people of all ages and all parts of the town, everywhere, just really sitting out and having a good time, enjoying good music. I don't agree with the alcohol period because I'm not an alcohol drinker, but there was nobody out there that I saw drunk or causing a disturbance. It was just a bunch of people coming together, having a great time, and it made Darlington really look good. And so, as we sat there, I spoke with Lisa and asked her, a lot of people don't want to see it end. We've got one planned for October. Our thoughts were if, I think she's got a partial sponsor for if we were to do one in November, if the city could also sponsor part of it for November. And then in December, instead of having it the first of the month, she would see if she could get sponsorships if the DDRA is approved is to have a party for December the 31st as a New Year's Eve party on the square. Of course, the DDRA would have to approve of it. But we're not asking for any funding for that, just asking to see if the city would be willing to help fund anything along with to continue this. And of course, it's going to get cold in January, February, March, and we're going to do much outside. But just hate to see it cut off, and got it going really good. And I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed it, made the city of Darlington look good. As Mr. Milling has asked a lot of times, there is no way to quantify what it brought back into our town, but our purpose, I would think of that is to make our town look good and people see what's going on, social media and good comments on for our town. So it's good publicity, I feel.
It was a wonderful community, man. I couldn't imagine having it at the race track alley. I mean, it would have been just impossible. It was
the best place on the square.
It was just wonderful. I've never seen such a crowd, besides our big festivals.
Need to build on it,
That's
grow on
what
it.
happens with level 10.
Level
10. Level 10.
We'll have to keep
We
up
knew.
10 coming back here. But I would be be happy to motion to approve, another round for November and December, the DDRA, funding for music event.
Do we have an amount?
Yeah, we got an amount for this.
It's approximately, 4,000 per event.
So, and
We've got a potential sponsor of about 1,500. So that, for a November event, that would leave us, needing $2,500 for November. And then, of course, we're going to do December.
So 65,
Yeah.
so 6,500.
I would love to amend my motion to $6,500.
I'll
Say
second.
it again, y'all talking kind of low for me.
So I would like to, motion that we approve the DDRA funding for, December and November music events for the amount of $6,500.
I second.
Mr. Nettles?
Yes.
Mrs. Backus? Mr. Seer? Okay, Mr. Milling?
Yes.
Okay, aye. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. All right, department head reports, anything from the department heads, any questions? Okay. Any council comments?
No, I'm glad that, I was just concerned about those bullets on the number 6, and we worked it out, so I just, wanted to convey that to our city manager.
We always have the opportunity to speak ourselves, if we ask for.
And if we have
We
any,
allow someone to go over tonight, it's our discretion, if somebody to be
but see,
argumentative.
we
or
gotta be
something.
flexible, I mean, we really do.
We can carry it on, as long as we can carry it on, but
Right.
if there's argumentative, we can carry it on.
If you're comfortable with it as we have it, just without the word not. Right?
Right, yeah, don't restrict, cause see, I'm encouraging folks to come. That's one of the things that I really, please come. And I don't want them to come and feel like at the point where they can't say or be exposed to all of the council, that they can't express themselves or get any feedback from us. That this may be at any point. But anyway, that's all, and, we worked it out. I wanna thank the council for that, I really do.
Just wanted to mention one thing, and just for clarity's sake, I did speak with Ms. Backus and Ms. Reed this morning. We discussed this. In going through your ordinance, I did want to mention, and we can change this in the future. Right now, based on precedent, you give 5 minutes for public comment. But your ordinance states 2 minutes. And I just want to bring that to your attention. I just want to bring that to your attention.
We need to work on changing the ordinance. All right. And we're happy to have our new city manager working with us, and
Welcome.
we're
Thank you.
happy to have Mr. Milling. We praise you here, Mr. Milling. I hope you know that you have a bunch of people praying for you.
And I certainly appreciate all the prayers. I could feel the prayers, and I think that's the difference between my not being here and my being here. So thank you, each and every one of you.
Yes, sir.
All
The
right.
community sure came together.
That's a hallelujah from me.
Glad you're doing much better.
Thank you.
All right, okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session for Police Chief Washington and Fire Chief Kavanaugh to discuss personnel matter, American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, city property appraisal and personnel matter, city manager John Payne, the city of Darlington may or may not vote,